Alright, so tonight we're going to pick up where we left off on the Camaro rear end, and if you remember, let me spin it around here and show you. What messed us up was this carrier, and this is not a carrier that will support a 410 gear, which is right there. And we had that thing all assembled. Well, not all assembled, but we had the bearings pressed on and we had the gear put on. So I had to find another one on eBay, which is this guy right here. And this unfortunately came totally assembled with all the spider gears and everything, and the pinion shaft, pinion bolt. Was able to get that pinion bolt out without breaking it. Got the gears out and then popped these bearings off. Now, these were the new stuff, or the new bearings, and I wanted to obviously try to take these off gently and salvage them, and I would say my plan did not work. So that held us back even further from making progress on this rear end. The other distraction is right outside that door there, that K10 square body that I got. So I spent a lot of time, not to sidetrack, but I spent a lot of time on that bumper. But the Camaro's there, haven't forgot about it, and certainly ready to get this 10 bolt put together. And tonight, if we are fortunate, and I say we because my buddy Matt's on his way over, we will be able to assemble this carrier, put it in, get our gear, our ring and pinion gear set, and hopefully also get this Spartan locker, get that installed as well. So this thing is done. The axle shafts will be in, and I can put the wheel studs in later, and I'll be able to then put the cover on this thing and get it painted. And once it's painted, it goes back under there with the brand new leaf springs, and I can get that ready for installation. So that's the plan, and just waiting on Matt. When he gets here, we'll get started. All right, so Matt's here, and we are, I guess I was so distracted by the carrier and getting that swapped out and ordering those bearings that I didn't order a sacrificial bearing for the gear here. And so that means if we press this on, we've literally got one shot at this. And worst case is we have to then cut this bearing off and order two more. One sacrificial, one good one. And I know it sounds like we're cutting a corner here by doing that, but we've got the original shim on from the other ring gear, or pinion gear. And I think we're going to take a chance and see if we can get it dialed in. And Matt here has assured me that he's done how many of these?
A lot of them.
A lot of them.
A dozen and a half?
Yeah, dozen and a half of these rear ends, and he's never had a problem with any of the ones that he did, and he's not even gone through the pains that we've gone to with mine so far to get everything perfect. So let's press it on, see what happens. And again, if we have to cut this off, and you know, to me the risk is marring this, right? But I think we can get it off if we have to without screwing that up, and take a chance, because we can go get a sacrificial bearing. This is the other one that I destroyed. We'd have to grind it out in here, and that takes a minute. Put it on there, set everything up, and it may be perfect.
Yeah.
And not that that's not a good steps to go through, but hey, I'm trying to shoot straight. That's what we're going to do. Probably not the exact right way to do it, but we're going to give it a try and see what happens. So let's get this thing pressed on. Let's get this thing put together and see where we're at. All right, so we got that bearing pressed on, and that's the pinion gear inside the housing. And let me show you, kind of walk through that again, Matt.
Yeah, do you want to see what it looks like on the... So basically what we're doing is this. Right, so that's get squeezed together.
So crush sleeve goes on next from the backside, right? Mm-hmm. Then we're going to press this, or tap this bearing down, but until it hits that. Mm-hmm. And then yoke, seal,
then
yoke, nut.
Mm-hmm.
And then we've got this tool that's going to torque that down until we get to what spec?
I think it's 14 to 18, 16 to 20 inch-pounds.
Yeah.
Somewhere around that range, yeah.
And we'll show you that tool. Yeah, we'll show you that tool in a second. So this is why you kind of have one shot at this, because this crush sleeve is going to crush, right?
Mm-hmm. That's the preload. So what
And
you're doing is that's setting the distance between these two bearings.
Correct. And if we get it to the right preload, then that should be the right distance, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so if we mess this up, if that was if we shouldn't have taken that gamble there, we're going to have to destroy that bearing to get it off. New crush sleeve, right?
Mm-hmm.
This one we can probably still salvage. All right, here's a quick update of where we are. There's the pinion gear, and that is totally mounted in. Sorry, you're going to get blinded by the light.
I hate that song.
And then show them what we got here, Matt.
Bruce Springsteen too.
Hold that. So now we're putting the preload on, right?
Mm-hmm. The pinion bearing preload. This is critical to keeping them quiet.
And right now, it's turning. I don't know how well that'll come out on the video. Right about 10 inch-pounds, and we need to be 16 to 20.
Yeah.
16-ish. So we're close. So we've been hitting that with the impact, testing it with this. So if I get out of the way and don't block the light, kind of see it's about 10 foot-pounds. So not easy to do, for sure. Whoops.
Oh, you want to show them how we had to make this?
Yeah. We had to make we sacrificed a 10 millimeter, ground it down on the ends.
We had to go to quarter.
Yeah, so you're going a quarter.
Then we took a 10 millimeter just to kind of square it up to get it into a half-inch drive.
To get it into it, yeah, a half inch, because I didn't have a reducer like that. So plus this is 1 inch and 5/16.
Yeah, so this goes 1 3/4, right?
Which is, yeah, and this is three
three-quarter,
quarter
sorry.
socket. So yeah, we've had to do some finagling and some engineering to get this to work. So we're going to hit this thing one more time, and hopefully we'll get it to 16. All right, so we have this thing assembled and put together, and check it out. Spin that. I mean, it is spinning nice. I know that doesn't mean much, but it's quiet. And now we're going to put some of that, what's that stuff called?
Marking compound?
Marking compound. We're going to put some of that on there and see if we got lucky with our setup here. Because, again, we didn't do the sacrificial bearing on the pinion. And we just took a chance and set it up. But Matt,
normally pretty dang close.
Matt, who's done this many, many times, seems to feel confident with this setup. So let's put some of that putty on there and see what happens. And we did get to, I forgot to film, I didn't film this part, but we did get to 20 inch-pounds on the preload. And feel pretty good about that. All right, so we're going to paint this on here. All right, so once we get done painting, we'll come back and show you the pattern. All right, so we overpainted a little bit just to, because we want to make sure, I want to see it. I want to see the pattern. So Matt's going to spin it. I don't know where he went.
Beer brake.
Beer brake, okay. So here we go. Let's see what she looks like once she goes through the gears.
Oh, I see it there.
Yeah.
Wow.
It looks like we're high.
But it's nice and centered.
It's nice and centered, but it does look like we're high.
All right, so then we'll take that shim and we'll swap those and push it in.
Okay, so the shim over here is bigger than the shim over here. So we're gonna swap them to make that go a little bit deeper. I'm happy with the centering part of it, but we gotta, it's too shallow, or yeah, it's not deep enough. So we gotta fix that. All right, so we played around with these shims a little bit. We put some different ones in, and we repainted that a little bit too thick, so that didn't even produce a pattern for us. But because we put it on too thick, we got on these clean gears a pattern from the Pinion that I'm pretty happy with. I mean, I'm pretty happy with that pattern. I don't know how well that'll come out on the video, but I think it looks pretty good. You like it, Matt?
I like it.
All right, I think we have this set to where we want. We did take a little bit of a chance with the pressing on that bearing early on, but I think we're good. I'm pretty happy with it. If you ever think about doing a rear end at home, like we're doing, don't. It's worth any amount of money to pay a shop to do it. It is such a pain. We've taken that carrier in and out at least 10 times, and shims and just grinding things down. It's a very tedious process. So prepare yourself. It's very doable, but just make sure you're a patient person, because man, it will try your patience. All right, so we accomplished a lot in this video, and I think this is a good place to stop it. And I just want to clarify that I was kidding about paying a shop to do it. Yeah, at that moment, pay a shop to do it. I would have paid any amount of money to have it done. But the reality of it is, and the experiences that I've had with shops, unless you know someone's really good and they're pretty competitively and fairly priced, if you can attempt to do this yourself, you're going to save yourself certainly a lot of money. So we got it done. I'm pretty happy with the setup. We won't know for sure, obviously, until we put it in the car and go down the road a little bit, but it looks good. The gears, the pattern is good. And like I said, overall, I'm pretty happy with it. So the next steps for the rear end, because we did not get to it tonight, and I think this will go fairly quickly, is to put that Spartan locker in, get the axle shafts in, and then this rear end is completely done. I can put the drums on, I can put the rear differential cover on, and I can get it painted up, mount the new leaf springs to it, and get it put back under the car. So all that and more is coming up on the channel. Appreciate you guys tuning in, checking out the video. Thank you for your support, and as always, thanks for watching.